Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahashem, Yahawashi Bahashem, Rekai Kwadash. I would like to give double honors to the head apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the true leaders of Israel to this day, who taught me this truth. And I would like to say shalom to all the Akim and the Akwah that's believing on this truth and that's seeking their salvation at the hands of Yahawah and that his only begotten son, Yahawashi. I would like to say shalom. So today I want to get into a quick video and I'm gonna entitle it Civil War Has to Happen. Okay, thus saith Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. Civil war must come to pass. And before we get into this quick video clip that I have pulled up on the screen by the brother, the hopeful elect, we're going to get a couple precepts. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 23, okay, and verse 19. And it says, the Most High, which his name is Yahawah, okay, is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man, okay, which is Yahawashi, that he should repent. Hath he said, and should not he do it? Or hath he spoken, and should not he make good? You got to remember, our power declared the end from the beginning. Okay, and a part of the end of this man's kingdom is civil war, okay, where the Egyptian is going to be put against the Egyptian, where men are going to rise up against each other, okay. We're getting ready to enter into the time of great tribulations. We're getting ready to enter into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. And it's all written. These words are faithful and true. They're going to come to pass. Let's get the book of Revelation, chapter 21, and verse 5. And it says, and he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words, okay, these words that we're bringing out, from day to day, okay, the words that's contained in the volume of the book, okay, these words are true and faithful, okay, these words are true and faithful. All right, let's go to the book of Isaiah 55. All right, and the point is in verse 11. All right. The point is in verse 11. But this goes into how, you know, we're telling our people to seek the Lord while he may be found. Because we're getting ready to go into some deadly serious times. Matter of fact, we'll just start from there and read into it. This is Isaiah 55 and 6. It says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Okay, because the Lord is near right now because his grace period is still open. Okay, it's still, a chance for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to repent. Okay, but the door of repentance is quickly shut. Okay, and when mercy is no more available, because this word going forth is mercy to the tribes. Okay, when that mercy is cut off, all right, you're gonna have to lean on what you've been putting your energy into. Okay, during the time of Jacob's trouble, when civil war hits the streets. Okay, when chaos is running rampant. Okay, let the wicked, okay, speaking about the wicked of our people, forsake his ways, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him and to our power, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth earth, and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. This is the point. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. Okay, and the word has went forth. Okay, the word of the Lord have showered the earth. All right, and we're getting ready to get into the thick of prophecy. All right. And it shall not return unto me void. Okay. This word is not going to return void. Everything that's written is going to come to pass. Okay. Everything that's written in prophecy is going to come to pass. All right. And we're going to get that in Second Ezra. Okay. Everything that's written is going to come to pass. It's not going to come back void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I have sent it. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to Second Ezra 15. All right. Yahawashi is going to make good on all his words. Prophecy, okay, is alive and speaking. This is Second Ezra 15 in verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. Okay, the word of prophecy. All right, and prophecy will be fulfilled. Okay, as we started off. Okay, these words are faithful and true. All right, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. See, these aren't our words, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Okay, because what if some don't believe? That's not gonna make prophecy be put on hold. Okay, prophecy is gonna come to pass. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. A lot of people is getting ready to go back to the spiritual realm. Okay, if you don't have a feel for prophecy, if you don't have a temperature towards what's going on in the earth, okay, you're getting ready to be taken. Okay, as it tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes, how, matter of fact, we'll just get that, how you're gonna be taken, okay, in a snare, okay, and it's gonna fall upon you suddenly. All right, let's see if we can find that. Yep, it's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 9 and 12. It says, "For man knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in in a evil net, and as the bird that is caught in the snare. So are the son of men snared in the evil time when it falleth upon them suddenly." Okay, this is going to fall upon them suddenly. All right, because Jake don't know what time we're living in. All right. A lot of people is getting ready to go back to the spiritual realm, as we just said, okay, because they don't believe the report. They don't believe the words that's coming out. Okay, and we know this goddamn devil is going to bring forth a lot of false flags. Okay, but at the end of the day, okay, they're doing nothing besides working for the Lord on the left hand side. All right, let's finish this off. It says, verse 5, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world." Okay, and these are part of the plagues. Okay, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole world, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So we're seeing the plagues being orchestrated by our power. Okay, we're seeing the plagues being orchestrated by our power, and they're going to come to pass. And okay, because Yahawashi Yahawashi, okay, declared the end from the beginning. All right, and he has put us up on game. So this is not going to catch us by surprise. Okay, we're inviting the evil times because this is the only way we're going to get out of captivity. Okay, for this whole place to be dismantled. Okay, and see, this devil thinks he's wiser than the Lord. Okay, he thinks he's going to dismantle, okay, and rebuild a new, NWO. He thinks he's going to break down the old and build something new. Okay, but he's fallen into the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushua via prophecy. So let's get it. It is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, and verse 9 says, "Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I'm the Most High, and there is none like me." And see, this devil is trying to be like the Most High. That's why you see him trying to bring forth this technological prison where he's going to be able to oversee everyone via AI, okay, where everyone is going to become a slave to the elite banking families, okay, and everyone that's joined it to them. Okay, but guess what? Yahawah Yahawashi say he's the most high and there's none else. All right, declaring the end from the beginning. So what we see going on real time, Yahawah Yahawashi has already declared it. Okay. And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. See, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is getting ready to do the pleasure. Okay. His pleasure. Okay. In the earth. So now let's get this video clip from the Hopeful Elect 3. Okay. Because Civil War, okay, is indeed coming. All right.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
you must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
and who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just stress that this story that is emerging may be one of the most horrifying that I have seen in a long time. You may be wondering what this image I have on screen is. It is part of a campaign to create factions within the military to defy Donald Trump and foment civil war or a military coup. I'm not exaggerating. To be fair, to hammer everything looks like a nail. But for what purpose have been Democrats calling on people to, quote, pick an effing side? That's a senator from Connecticut who said that. For what purpose have Democrats been calling all of Trump's orders illegal, dictatorial, fascistic, and then calling on servicemen and women to defy the chain of command? This makes no sense. If it's no big deal the National Guard were deployed to our city streets and not doing anything but picking up trash, why do Democrats pretend to care? Here's the story. These billboards have been popping up reportedly across the country. It says, "Did you go airborne just to pull security for ICE? Not what you signed up for.org. This is illegal. It is a crime. I'm not exaggerating nor being cute. I have the law pulled up. This is an effort to foment factions within the military ranks so that they defy the chain of command. Secretary of War or the president himself. I'm going to show you exactly where this goes. We're going to pull up this website, but I need to say this right now. If Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and the DOJ do not go after these people that are putting up these messages, this is the biggest, the most impactful escalation towards civil war we have ever seen in our generation.
And like we said, civil war has to happen. Okay, that's thus saith the Lord. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 19. We'll start at 1. It says the burden of Egypt. Okay, and we're in a spiritual Egypt. Okay, we're in a spiritual Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the hearts of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. Verse 2, and I will set Egyptian against the Egyptian. And that's what we're seeing, okay? They're still, you know, putting, red and blue on different things to pit the people against each other. Okay, you got the military, you know, boots on ground. And guess what? That's going to continue to get worse. Boots are going to be on ground, okay, in Babylon the Great. All right. The Egyptians are being put against the Egyptians, and prophecy must come to pass. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And a spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And see, Yahawah Yahawashi is about to upset everything that people getting ready to stand on. Okay, and they shall seek to their idols and to their charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and the wizards. All right. And that's what we see people, that's what we see these, especially these elites. That's what we see them doing. All right. But all that is getting ready to fail. Okay. Civil war must come to pass. Okay. And these people are doing nothing other than the will of the Lord. Let's go to Second Ezra 15. And we'll start at verse 14. It says, woe, woe, men, and destruction to the world and them that dwell therein, because this is getting ready to get bad out here. Okay, so why everybody, is trying to get into that spirit of, uh, get into that holiday spirit, Thanksgiving was just yesterday, people getting ready to go in debt, okay, for Christmas, all right? But evils are being stirred up in the background. As it tells you in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, only evils are being prepared. But people still trying to get in that festive spirit. All right? It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Okay, destruction is coming to this place. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. Okay, and one people, civil war, shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. And the modern day sword is the gun. And you got to remember, there are more guns, okay, in America than there are people. It's getting ready to get bloody out here. For there shall be sedition among men, okay, and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princesses, okay. This devil right here. Well, he looked like a devil. He looked like an Edomite, but this man right here just said, if they don't start taking care of the people that's putting this up, and Trump ain't gonna take care of this shit, okay? They want to cause division. All right. Once again, Egyptian getting ready to rise against Egyptian. Okay, and they're not going to regard their kings nor princesses. All right. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay. They gonna do what they feel is good for them. Okay. A man shall desire to go into a city. Okay, because martial law is coming. Troops and boots will be put on ground and shall not be able to. They're not gonna be able to be freely going around when chaos hit the streets and then they bring forth their order. Okay, because that's how this devil work. Okay, order out of chaos. For because of their pride, their cities shall be troubled, and their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Okay, and we always say if a man gonna be afraid, how much more the weaker vessel, okay, the woman. A lot of you women, okay, are getting ready to be ravished, okay. When there's nobody you can call, okay, when that 911 hotline can't answer you, okay, it's gonna get real bad out there for you, okay. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Why is that? But they shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay, it said great tribulations. All right, and that's the time we're getting ready to enter into. Let's go to this video right here from Arrows of Indignation. getting ready to get bad out here, Jake. And that's why we continue to tell you to repent before it's too late. Precept right quick that we always bring up. Let's go to the book. Come slow down. I'll just get it on my phone right quick. Let's go to the book of Second Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, at least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant of his devices. We know that this devil is going to continue to bring out them big FFs, okay, a false flag. We understand that, he has to fast track his NWO. We understand that he has but a short time. Okay, so even if there are casualties, okay, so-called friendly fire on his side, okay, is to bring forth and orchestrate a bigger picture. All right. Just understand and know that. They always try to make everything red and blue, okay? They want to pit the people against each other. This is the book of Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And so we're in the time where this goddamn devil's getting ready to speak like a dragon, okay? Very draconian, okay? This devil's getting ready to speak like a dragon, okay? He's getting ready to bring forth that sword, okay? Because he know he has but a short time. He got to bring forth these, false flags. He got to bring forth. He got to make something shake and move. Okay.
The National Guard are bait. They were always supposed to be bait. At least, according to this administration, which is why I think this DC shooting should be a moment of very serious reckoning with that fact for members of the National Guard, as well as, by the way, members of ICE, law enforcement agencies, the armed forces. You are tools of provocation. We talk a lot about how this administration is very clearly trying to provoke unrest and the harm that comes to those who are targeted. But we don't talk enough about those who are being used to do the targeting. You are expendable to them. They are using you to provoke. And yes, I mean you too, if you're involved in the boat attacks or anything like that. So I do suspect some ICE officers are well aware of this. Otherwise, why would they be spending so much time going after non-violent, non-criminals as opposed to the ones that they're probably more scared of? And just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, 2 National Guard members in D.C. were reportedly shot today. While it was first reported that they had lost their lives, apparently they are actually in critical condition. And while many of us condemn this in no uncertain terms, we're also completely unsurprised. This was their goal. Mind you, the suspect has already been apprehended, and according to officials on the ground, it was a lone wolf attack. So what is the purpose of 500 more National Guard troops in D.C.?
This is the book of Job, chapter 21.
You contradict yourselves. Know that your purpose to this administration is not to make this country safer. It is to bait this country. And they don't care what happens to you in that process. Actually, that's not quite true, though, is it? They only care about how useful you are to them. And if you're more useful to them when you're injured or, God forbid, dead, that's what they want. What happened today did not need to happen. And it is not those National Guard members' fault that they were shot today. But it is Trump's. Remember that.
The guy was vetted by the CIA because he was working with the CIA in Afghanistan. He was working with the CIA in Afghanistan. So how are you going to tell us that he was not vetted? He came to America. You thought he just retired? He was on the beach somewhere? If he was working with the CIA and he knew the faces of the CIA, when he came to America, he probably was working with the CIA to infiltrate sleeper cells in Muslim communities to work with the CIA. You're not going.
He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink.
I'm going to sit here and try to get me an account strike and shut me up for saying how the CIA didn't know that this man did that shit. It sounds like a psyop to harden the disposition of the National Guards against the American citizenry. To change the rules of engagement. How the National Guard looks at the American citizens. And now you need 500 more National Guard troops for a guy who allegedly drove from Washington State all the way to Washington, D.C. He could have stopped in Portland. He could have stopped in Chicago. He could have stopped in Tennessee.
Don't be amazed.
But he chose to drive all the way to Washington, me to do this to 2 National Guards, you're not going to lie to us. You're not going to lie to us. So if I was the governor, like I said, I'm going to pull my troops out of Washington, D.C. I'm going to